modern individuals rarely care about nuance. The main thing that they care about is whether you are on their side or not. And if you don't take a side, then you would be deemed as their enemy, regardless. Take the Gaza and Israel situation as an example. If I were to say that I support neither of them, then both sides would deem me as their enemy. They're not gonna listen or care about my reasons. The reason why I just don't want to take a side, at least in this particular situation, is that Gaza's they also kill like people, right? In Israel, they also kill civilians and slaughter them. So to me, it is extremely immoral. Even some Palestinians, they also don't support Gaza. Honestly, you can see the point right here. Not everyone will support this kind of organization, that civilians are the main target. It sucks. People just don't, let me put it this way. Most people, they would just judge before they understand the situation. I bet that a bunch of people or activists, they don't even understand the whole worldview of the situation. What they know is whatever that is shown by the algorithm on social media the most, and it is reinforced by echo chamber. They see it every single day. For instance, if you see that Palestinians, they are being slaughtered, tortured every single day. They don't have food. They don't even have shelters. So you would feel sympathy for them, and you would just be against Israel, right? To me, at least, killing innocent lives without any, I don't think it is justified at all. They have done nothing wrong and they don't even want to be involved. But it just can't help. I feel bad for everyone that is in this kind of situation. It is very nuanced than like, oh, this one is, starting first, this one is starting like later. It doesn't matter. People shouldn't be fighting like in the first place at all. But this is the point. You would see that even if I were to say that it is still more nuanced than that, they also have their own demand and the negotiation failed over and over again. That's why it ended up like this. And the other side, they also have to defend it themselves. This is the thing that people should be concerned and try to take it in an account rather than like, oh, your side, you kill millions of people and you kill more than the other side, then I'm gonna be against you. It is not that simple, okay? Complex problems are reduced to two choices nowadays. You either be with us or against us. This is how they want you to be. We just can't help. Like, why is it even like this? People don't want to see the truth. They just want you to, like, you must be with them or be with me. People would defend their side regardless, even if they know that it is wrong, because tribalism rewards loyalty over truth. You would see that, from the left and the right, even they know that some of their people, have like acted something immoral in the public. For example, with some situations that people they vandalized, for example, from the left. I'm not trying to accuse anything. From the left side, they vandalized a statue, and then people from the left would just try to defend this person. Just some of them, not all of them, even though they know that it is wrong, but it just makes their ideology like strong and doesn't, let me put it this way, that they're not gonna be deemed as a weak group of people, because admitting that you were wrong, meaning that you just give the other side the power to do whatever against you, you just give them the point. So people just don't care about the truth anymore. It's just that if I'm on this side, I'm gonna protect my people with all I have, regardless, even if my people are doing shit. I don't care. When nuance is mistaken for indecision, when I say that both sides have valid points, it's often interpreted as not having principles. You just don't care about people at all. You just, are ignorant. You don't know anything. That's why you don't take any side. You are too careless. You lack empathy. But in reality, I just don't want anyone to die unnecessarily. In this case, I hate it. Like when people have to be in that kind of situation. I don't want it to befall upon anyone at all. But it is just almost inevitable when we live in this cruel world where society is polarized. People, even when they live in the same country, look at the US. You know, I have seen many families, they literally, like, there would be some parents who have different ideology from their kids. They literally can't talk to each other when they came home. They just quiet to each other because of politics. It is so bad, man. Like, since when that politics can divide even a family foundation and connection, I swear to you, it really exists. And if you live in the US, you know it so well. It sucks because people would be very radical even if they try to explain their um, side or their ideology to their family members that possess different one. Like when you have different ideology, it is almost impossible to compromise because there is the third party, even if it exists, the power is not as strong as the left or the right, which is why even if a lot of people they want to be in the middle, it is still just going to be another party and they will just fight each other back and forth forever. It is not going to be united. Let me put it this way. The fear of social exile. Many people they pretend to agree with the majority because being disliked feels riskier than being dishonest. If they don't take a side, right, they would feel excluded. People would deem that person as an outsider, and nobody wants to feel that way. Imagine when you walk into your house and everybody gives you a weird look, staring at you, don't want to talk to you, don't treat you with dignity, and just don't care about you at all. You are forced to take a side. Nowadays, that is how society wants you to be. The main thing that people care about is winning. Instead of trying to hear the opposing side's opinions, people would rather trying to win regardless, even if some of their beliefs, actions are wrong. they would overlook it and just trying to pretend that it didn't happen. They don't see it. It sucks, man. Let me introduce you another example. In this situation, what do you think about this proposition? Everyone is responsible for their own choices solely. Some people would say that, yes, I agree with this proposition. But in fact, it is more nuanced than that, very deep. For instance, if a serial killer he murders an entire family, people would think that yes, this person deserves death penalty unarguably, right? But what people often overlook is that what is the serial killer's upbringing, what is his mental health, it really matters. When you look at his background and if the serial killer's parents, they physically abused him when he was a child, they didn't care about him at all. And the only thing that he learned when he was a kid was violence, abuse. He had to deal with a bunch of things, being treated as a slave, didn't receive love and warmth from his parents at all. It sucks. This is a product of society, and he grew up with no support system, with that mental health. Nobody had ever handed him a help. As a result, he just went outside and murdered others. I'm not trying to justify his actions. That's the point of my um, speech. My point is that it is not entirely his fault, but society and his parents, at least his parents, they contributed to his current actions because how they treated him, it was inhumane, unacceptable. That is why he behaved like that. Even if you were to say that, but at the end of the day, it is his own choice. Yes, but imagine if somebody tried to hand him a help, he got to get a therapy, he might, you know, had been better. But in this case, it just ended up like that. People wouldn't care about, his background. The only thing they care is that he's right or he's wrong. That's it. I understand that. That's why, like, whenever I watch criminology documentary, when, a murderer, he got out of the jail and then he tried to redeem himself, trying to be a better person. It is almost a moral dilemma where I I feel bad for him and I also feel bad for the family that had lost their family member. Like, how are you gonna feel in that situation if you were a that murderer? You also want others to treat you as a normal person, and you also want a second chance from others because now you really try to be a better person. You seek for Christ, you try to help society, and you don't want to be the old version of yourself anymore. It is hard, right? But then when you look at the family's perspective, they have permanently lost someone that they can't bring back forever, and there is no amount of money that can bring that person back. It is hard, like it is irreversible, which is why it's almost a dilemma that even if they were to not forgive the murderer. It also makes rational sense to me, but it's hard. Like, you don't know. In this situation, it is very nuanced. I don't know what side should I take. The only thing that I can say is that I feel bad for both sides. People can make a mistake, even if it is a huge one. We are human and we are just imperfect. We learn from our failures and mistakes from the past. That is how we grow as a person. It is like that. And I don't know whether people are going to accept nuance more or not in the future. At least nowadays, if you don't take side, they would just look at you with like weird eye and just feel like you are careless person. But at the end of the day, I just don't care. I would just think what I want. It is quite difficult to live in a world where people are royally divided, and it has been increasingly more than ever. I just want to live peacefully, man. Why do people have to hate each other? I genuinely just want they to live in peace and can live together without hostility. But I understand that it is part of human nature, you know, different people, different opinions. That is natural. If you guys have any opinions, you can comment down below. I will go and read it. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next one.